Have you ever wondered why some of the kindest people often seem to be the most exhausted? They smile when they want to cry. They say yes when every part of them wants to say no. They carry other people's burdens while quietly ignoring their own. From the outside, they appear generous and compassionate, but beneath that kindness, there is often a silent struggle that almost nobody sees. We grow up believing that being nice is always the right thing to do. Parents teach us to share, teachers encourage us to be polite, and society prizes those who put others before themselves. Kindness is presented as one of the highest virtues a person can possess, and in many ways, it truly is. A world without kindness would be cold and unbearable. But there is a difference between being kind and being unable to stop pleasing others. The difference is subtle at first. A kind person helps because they genuinely want to. A people pleaser helps because they fear what might happen if they don't. They fear disappointing others, they fear conflict, they fear rejection. Over time, kindness stops being a choice and becomes a survival strategy. The problem is that people pleasing rarely feels dangerous in the beginning. It starts with small decisions. You agree to a favor even though you're already overwhelmed. You apologize for things that were never your fault. You stay quiet when someone says something that hurts you because speaking up feels uncomfortable. You convince yourself that keeping the peace is more important than expressing how you really feel. Days become months and months become years. Slowly, without realizing it, you begin to shape your life around other people's expectations instead of your own values. One day, someone asks you what you truly want, and you hesitate. Not because the question is difficult, but because you have spent so much time focusing on everyone else's happiness that you've forgotten how to listen to your own. This is one of the hidden costs of always being nice. You don't lose yourself all at once. You lose yourself one small compromise at a time. Perhaps the saddest part is that the more you give, the more people begin to expect it. Human beings adapt quickly. What once felt like a generous favor slowly becomes something others assume you will always do. Your availability becomes expected. Your patience becomes ordinary. Your sacrifices become invisible. And then the first time you finally say no, people are surprised. Some may even become upset. Not because you've done something wrong, but because they have grown comfortable with a version of you that never had boundaries. That moment can feel confusing. You begin to wonder if setting limits makes you selfish. You question whether protecting your own time or energy is somehow unfair. But the truth is that healthy boundaries are not the opposite of kindness. They are what make genuine kindness possible. Imagine trying to pour water into every cup around you while never refilling your own. Eventually, your cup runs dry. You may continue pretending to give, but what you're really offering is exhaustion, frustration, and emotional emptiness. Real kindness should never require you to disappear. It should never ask you to silence your voice, ignore your dreams, or abandon your well-being just to make someone else comfortable. Because when kindness is driven by fear instead of love, it stops being a gift. It becomes a cage. The truth is, most people don't take advantage of kind people because they are cruel. They do it because kindness without boundaries becomes predictable. If you always say yes, people stop asking whether you can help. They simply expect that you will. Over time, this creates a dangerous imbalance. You become responsible for everyone else's comfort, while nobody seems responsible for yours. Not because they don't care, but because you've spent so long hiding your own needs that people assume you don't have any. The irony is that many people pleasers secretly hope others will notice their sacrifices without being told. They believe that if they keep giving enough, someone will eventually give back. But relationships don't work that way. People cannot respond to needs they never see. Learning to say no isn't about becoming selfish. It's about being honest. A sincere no is far kinder than a reluctant yes, filled with resentment. The people who truly value you won't measure your worth by how much you sacrifice for them. They'll respect your boundaries because they respect you. Perhaps the greatest act of kindness is not giving everything you have. It's taking care of yourself so that when you choose to give, it comes from love rather than fear. Because real kindness doesn't ask you to lose yourself. It simply invites you to share the best of who you already are.